Hello there. I'm your host, DORSEY, and this is the Dark Roast. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys, quiet down. We have a show. We have a show. I said shut up! Jesus Christ. Whatever. So, today, I've been kind of really racking my brain this morning, and I didn't know how I wanted to do this. I was trying to get to, that path where it's like, all right, I got this, now it's time to formulate. And then I realized something. The people I'm dealing with, a lot of us aren't even really, taking the steps to, formulate things in our lives. So why should I? Should I just take this by, the whim of my seat and hope it all goes well? Well, fuck yeah, why not? Because in this day and age, it doesn't matter if you've got the map to how you want it to go down, or if you got the blueprints, or if you've planned it out 3 years in advance. Now people don't care unless you've got it done. They don't care about the product. They just care that you brought it out to me. They want it now. So I decided, well, I'm going to give it to you now. I'm just going to give it to you straight up, how it comes from my mind, nothing written down. Now, my first topic in my mind that pops up is this awesome sense of division and duality that we have. None of us are really realizing, and I've seen this, and I'm sorry that I'm not Joe Rogan, but when I say I'm awake, people go, "Oh no, you're not. You just have internet access." But if Joe Rogan says it, oh, listen to that guy. I don't get it. Anyway, we have this sense of duality. We have this sense of everything has to have an opposition. It's not that we have to understand that everything has an opposition. It's just that everything has to. Everything must be fought on one side or the other. If I like this and you don't agree upon it, well, of course you have the right to your own opinion. I can't stop you from that. But my question is why is it that you get to degrade me to the point that you don't even realize that everything you speak is now emotional speculation? There is no fact. You speak in absolute truth when you bring emotion into it. When you say like, or I like this, or I prefer this, or this isn't the way I believe it is. It's like, okay, that's your beliefs. Everybody's always talking about how it's, especially when things come up when it involves science, how it's an absolute blah, blah, blah. Well, how many people in science have been discredited because someone found out their work wasn't truly finished or the complete answer? Or at all even right to what they thought it was. They just assumed because they thought they made a breakthrough. Oh no, that can't happen to the layman. That cannot happen to, the regular people like us because, well, to be honest, we're all stupid. Why do you believe I say that we're stupid? Or why do I believe that? Well, let's look at this. We believe anything the media tells us. When somebody who disagrees with the media or thinks in the ways of the philosophers of old, of Plato, Socrates, and etc., we tell them they're stupid because they don't fall in line. We tell people they're dumb for believing whatever they believe, but then when we look back at ourselves and our little finite details of our beliefs, they don't make any sense either. How are you going to tell someone Jesus walked on water, created wine, but then you tell them there's no magic? Okay, well then, if we lived in the same age and the Bible is true, then that means there is a type of magic. And it wasn't just Jesus who could do it, because God said we are all made in his image, and Jesus was made in his image. So therefore, oh my goodness, if Jesus was man and we are man, then doesn't that mean we could do magic? Holy shit, I think we had a breakthrough. Most likely not, because as soon as I start talking about stuff like that, people want to discredit me or say that, I'm wrong, I'm stupid, I'm an idiot. But it's common sense, people. You can't have someone be the epitome of what man's supposed to be and then say, we can't do what that man can do even if we're perfect or at his stage. Just saying. So things like that, those are the dualities, you know what I mean? Like, you see someone, it's like, a man has to have a beard. If he doesn't have a beard, he's a pussy. A woman must be skinny and a twig, and if not, she's fat. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, man, if a girl doesn't weigh less than 100 pounds or 99, then she's a chubby wubby, isn't she? It makes no sense to me. We sit here and we sit back and we act like we know everything. But none of us are really, especially the Americans, for the majority, We don't even, because the majority is the middle class and the masses, and realize that's who they pander at. That's who they get to fall for their foolish sheep-like activities. So with the middle class being so big and they know they can control them, when they hear information, it's usually on your Fox, your ABC News, NBC, CNN, was it NBC? I don't know. I can't remember the acronym for that right now. But we get that news, we take it in, and boom, it's solidified. It can't be destroyed. It can't be denied. It's the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. For you, those who don't know that, that's basically there are 12 tablets that are actually real things from Thoth, a quote unquote Egyptian deity, or for those who know a little further, a Kemetic deity. These 12 tablets cannot be broken, destroyed by anything, burned, water, atomic bomb, and trust me, they've tried. You should look into them. Anyway, now, with the media being such an adamant source of information, nobody else is looking anywhere else. Americans believe that their history books are the truth, the end-all, be-all. Well, if you start looking into other world's histories and other countries' histories, and how it appears that things are a little different, that we aren't this supreme, amazing, awesome thing because our history doesn't even match up. We credit everything to either the Romans or the Greeks. We don't go back into a little further. I remember I believe it was the 1800s, we had a French chancellor who had basically went and kind of said, if we look at the Negro now, we would be ashamed, but we are forgetting that they created civilizations that we now use as our foundation. Now, for those of you who do believe or don't believe that, once upon a time, the Egyptian halls were filled with Negroes, you can either Google the Grecian philosopher Herodotus, 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 or you can Google what happened. They'll tell you from a time, I think it was, we'd have to go far back. I'd have to go look at the details a little bit better, but we have the Kemetic rule, the Negro, the Assyrian, Alexander the Great, and then we have from 639 to 642, the Muslim conquest of Egypt and the Arab-Byzantine wars. Now, there's a fallacy that we believe everybody in Egypt was African, just like we believe that there's no hope for us in America. We believe that we can't ever achieve this sense of greatness that we once had, that our country's failed us, that we will never be anything greater than, slugs waiting for salt on the sidewalk. Or just waiting to die. But that's not true. The Constitution, it says we the people, doesn't it? It tells us that we the people have the power. Now, it's nobody's fault but our own for sitting back and letting everybody else except ourselves control the life that we live. It's everybody else's fault for why we are depressed. It's our parents' fault for not teaching us how to do taxes, how to do this, how to do that, blah, 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 for not treating us better. Well, when did you treat yourself better? When did you look at this and say, hey, I'm not a product of my environment, nor will I allow myself to be controlled by senseless thought? We don't have enough love for ourselves to ever blame somebody else for what's wrong with us. But yet we do. We live in a society where it's better to knock down the man who's trying any way it means, even if it means he's taking a different route than we did because he's not doing what we do or it doesn't fit our agenda. We destroy that woman or man for doing what they did. Well, if everybody thought the same, we would never, ever be as progressive as we have become. And with saying that on that note, our progression and our technological advances have become a hindrance because we don't use this to gather knowledge. We use it, well, just to dispute anything else someone says in an instant for a trending topic. Well, why can't we always search for knowledge? Why can't we always be trying to better ourselves and educate ourselves instead of trying to figure out how do we make ourselves look better cosmetically? How about we figure out how to look at ourselves intellectually? That's the question I ask. And while we're here thinking about intellectuals, why is it that every time the media says something about someone who we know nothing about, we have no knowledge of them, we're more naive than ignorant, to be honest, that we believe it? We can have white friends or black friends. The media says one thing or another. Why don't we go ask them? Why is it that we're still living by race anyway? If it's 2016 and everybody's talking about, oh, we should be letting go of things, but no one's really doing it, why are we letting the news and the media pander to our skin color, something that is literally layers, a thin layer deep, something that doesn't even matter? You peel it all back and guess what? We're all red. Why is it that you people are so adamant on thinking race has to be the topic of everything? I was guilty of this as well. And sometimes I still find myself, barking up that tree. Though I catch myself, I sit back and I say, well, if I'm no better than them because I'm allowing my ego to control me on this topic of race, something that doesn't even really exist, a fallacy all on its own, then how can I speak to them? How can I tell them to understand me if I'm doing the same thing they're doing while trying to sugarcoat and hide it? Well, that's where I found something. It was called self-control. Whenever I felt like I was doing that, I step away from the conversation. I delete what I'm writing. A lot of us have a problem with the ego. We don't know how to, shut it the fuck up. Sorry that I had to use the language, but that's what you need to hear. All of you who are so egotistical, just because you want to be heard, you don't listen to hear and receive information. You listen so you can rebuttal. Well, let me tell you something. That will get you nowhere, but exactly where you're at right now. The reason why knowledge isn't being passed to us is because we aren't grasping it, because we're not listening. Listen to the other side. Figure out what your opposition is saying and understand that they don't have to be a nemesis because they're opposition, but they can be accepted for being who they are. Ground yourself. Get rid of that ego. That thing that has you thinking you know everything. You're better than the rest. It comes with the gain of knowledge too. Your ego, it swells the more things you know because you just want to tell people. And then when they tell you you're wrong, you want to tell them fuck off. But here's the thing. There's no more need to tell people to fuck off. If we feel like someone's attacking us, we should be the ones to step away. That's the control. That's what we need. To start understanding and seeing if it doesn't fit our program, we don't have to change this person to make them fit our culture, because our culture is all based on perspective and perception. You don't need to make anybody fit your culture or your program. Because guess what? We're all connected. We all are one. We need to fit the program of life. And with living, it is the preservation of life, not the denial to be who you are. Because when you deny someone who they are, they fight, they rebel, they resist, which brings on the negative into the world, into the universe. Who are you going to be when it comes time to being better? To me, I'm going to be someone great, someone powerful, someone amazing. And that's truly how I want everybody to feel. Amazing. So I want to thank you guys for listening to The Dark Rose. And thank you for waking up. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are all beautiful. Beautiful. So we'll have another show next week. I'm actually might do one this week as well. I'll probably do another one today. I gotta be honest. But thank you for coming.